All right, today we are installing a Nushield R, previously known as the iWave R. All right, we're going to be installing it on this Lennox EL296, and we got plenty of space over here, so it should be a pretty simple and easy install. So, open the box up. We got our instructions, warranty registration, little sticker for the installation date. Also got a pack of screws if we need it. The Nushield itself, and that's it. All right, so instructions are extremely short, super easy to, very, very short, 2 pages. So, easy to comprehend. Biggest things, turn the power off. Cool. If you were to mount the Nushield on the assembly itself, that's when you're going to use these self-tappers to really secure it there, make sure it's not going anywhere. If you're going to go to the sidewall, it's got a super strong magnet in there that's going to stick this thing and keep it on there. Absolutely hate seeing the combination. Don't stick it there and then put in some self-tappers to go through the sidewall cabinet, and then you have these screws sticking out. That's going to get somebody. So magnets are just fine. This thing is not jumping around, and it's not going to fall off or go anywhere. So it's got that portion. What else? So we got an airflow direction. It states that we want to put the Nushield, if possible, on the shaft side. So you got your motor on this side, you want it on the shaft side, and the airflow going up and down, right? You don't want the airflow going that way, just the direction of the airflow with the system. We got that. And then one of the biggest things, the caution, you want about 2 inches of space from these leads to any metal. So whether it's going to be the assembly, the door that comes on here, you want a gap of about 2 inches away. All right, well, let's first get this thing mounted, and then we'll worry about the rest. So we're gonna go right here. As you can see, I'm going to cut out the insulation here so that the magnet actually works and we're not taken away from that. See, that magnet, that didn't prove my point very well. Magnet's pretty strong. It's not going anywhere. You got to really tug on that thing for it to come off. And again, this thing is not jumping around, so we'll be just fine right there. All right, next part of the directions just talks about the wiring. The Nushield has the ability to adjust anywhere from 24 volts all the way on up to 240. You can connect it to basically any voltage and it's going to work just fine. It says that output and performance will not be affected by the choice of input voltage, so pick whatever you want. I always recommend and I always pick 120 if we're working on a traditional furnace here. 120 and not the 24 volts. 24 volts, yes, it's crazy easy. You just go into the terminals right here, but you can have some issues overloading the transformer and things like that. So I'd rather just go to 120, go to the source, and not worry about anything. So we'll go ahead and do that. Also, I like to cut off all this excess wiring here. Some people will kind of loop it together and bound it up, which is also nice and neat, but I'd rather have a shorter wire going in there. Now the wires that we're gonna have, we have a black, that's your hot wire. You got your white neutral. You have two purples, which is basically an alarm for this thing, which we do not connect. And then we have a ground wire, which obviously going to go to ground. Again, cutting off this excess here. Go ahead and trim these down. And now I'm putting a wire nut over these every single time. I'm not just going to leave it exposed wires. So working and talking here, there's a lot of different air purifiers out there. There's going to be a few different ones of these, which is the bipolar ionization. There's a couple out there that also have UV lights, some different types of filters, things like that. This is one of them that's maintenance free. So the UV lights, the filters, that's stuff that you have to change over time. There's nothing to change in this. It cleans itself. There's literally nothing to do. All you got to do with this is make sure that you keep the fan running and it does its thing. I was skeptical about it myself for a little while. You know, you just see a box with a couple bristles and think, how does that do anything? But I have awful allergies. Put one in my house, leave that fan running. It took about a week or so, a couple weeks. After that, my house is kind of my safe space now, as far as allergies go. I'll have them when they get, walk out of the house, but when I'm in the house, I'm good to go. So I definitely agree with it and would recommend it for anybody with allergies, dust problems, things like that. Alright, so just clean those up a little bit, wire nutted them, wrapped them in electrical tape. They're not flopping everywhere. Next up, screwed up there. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. Again, always recommend going to the 120 source. So you could go straight into the junction box if you wanted. There's a lot of other ways to do it, so I'm not going to go all the way up there. You can just go straight into the wires going to the transformer, wire nut them all together. If you have the terminals, the slickest way to do it is to do a little piggyback terminal. So we go there, hook it onto the transformer, take the transformer wire, hook it onto the back. It is the absolute cleanest way. That's tight. Not tight. Cool. Some Chick-fil-A sounded mighty fine right now. God. I bought this thing thinking it was super cool. This thing don't work at all. Trying to be a good technician for the little video. Use the proper tools instead of just crimping them down. And look at where it got me. Come on. We're good. Alright. Linuxes are cool. Next to their circuit boards, they have a bunch of terminals for some ground wires. Perfect. It's all wired up. That's good. A little trick that I'm going to steal from a technician is how to clean up these wires. Absolutely perfect. Let's see. We'll do it this way. Do it this way. Invest in some self-tappers. That'd be a good idea. So, anyways, that's it. Wiring is all cleaned up. We'll throw another zip tie on there. Cool. And the last thing talks about the cleaning cycle. So it's preset to clean itself once a day. Clean these little bristles. You can program it to 3 days, 5 days, or 10 days. I don't see any reason to do that. Let it clean itself every single day. So let's turn the power on. Make sure we got a green light. Be good to go. We're solid. We got the green light. That means life is good. So, biggest things. Don't use self-tappers if you're going into the side cabinet. No reason for people to slice their hands. Make sure airflow is going up and down. Make sure you are on the shaft side as much as possible. Make sure that your bristles, don't touch them, they'll shock you. Bristles are 2 inches away from metal. You can use 24, but always try to use 120. And that's it. Life is good.